Hello, Year 12 and Year 13, and welcome to this week's virtual assembly. Well done for getting to the last week of the autumn term. You've all done fantastically well. Well done to Year 12 for coming up and making such a smooth adjustment to sixth form, and well done to Year 13 for making a cracking start to your final year at Radyr. We're really proud of how you're getting on. And if the autumn term is anything to go by, then we know that the spring term is going to be just as successful. So well done, give yourselves a pat on the back and know that you can have hopefully a very restful 2 weeks off where you can recharge, spend some time with your friends, family, or just by yourself, chilling out and sleeping, and hopefully come back refreshed afterwards. So, as it is the final week before Christmas, it makes sense for us to use this as our theme for this week's assembly, but with a bit of a twist because I want us to consider Christmas and different cultures. So, as we know, culture refers to the ideas, customs, and social behaviour of a particular people or society. And many cultures, of course, do not celebrate Christmas at all. But where it is celebrated all around the world, different cultures have their own traditions that may differ to our own. So I did a little bit of research. I come across a fantastic website actually called Why Christmas, and on there they track through all the countries in the world that do celebrate Christmas in some way, shape, or form. And you can have a little look then at particular countries and some of their customs. So these are just a few I picked on that I stumbled across. I started off with Canada. And Canada is a country quite similar to our own in a lot of ways, really. So it's not surprising that some of their traditions are quite similar. But like a lot of European countries, many Canadians actually open their gifts on Christmas Eve rather than Christmas Day. They also have particular festivals as well with particular subcultures within Canada. So, for instance, Sink Tak is a festival started by the Inuit that is celebrated in some provinces of Canada. And this celebration consists of dancing and gift exchanging. Many Canadian families also have cookie baking parties, which sound like an amazing event. And this involves basically bringing a recipe for Christmas cookies, baking them together, and then exchanging them with members of their family, which sounds like quite a lovely thing to do to bring you together with other people. Now, further on my research, I came across, skipped a slide then, sorry, Christmas in Hong Kong. And every year in Hong Kong, there's something called Winterfest. And this is basically a huge winter party that involves the shops, theme parks, other attractions in Hong Kong, all coming together for the same cause, all celebrating Christmas, and provide lots of opportunities for friends or families to go out together and do lots of very exciting Christmassy things, basically. And poinsettia flowers, which you've probably seen yourself, is that traditional kind of red Christmas flower that you'll probably see in a lot of shops at this time of year. They're used quite commonly to decorate, as well as things like tinsel, Christmas lights, and nativity scenes. And you'll see these decorations in homes, churches, and also public places. Now, in Hong Kong, people also send Christmas cards, like many people do in the UK. They're normally bought in shops, but some people still like to make them using Chinese craft techniques as well, which obviously gives them maybe their own edge. Further in my research as well, I looked at Christmas in Nigeria. So in terms of the dishes, because obviously food is a massive part of culture across the world, in addition to serving turkey, a traditional Christmas meal in Nigeria may also include beef, goat, sheep, ram, or chicken. And then as accompaniments, other dishes might include things such as pounded yam, jollof rice, fried rice, vegetable salad, and different kinds of stew. The church choir may visit the church congregation in their homes to sing Christmas carols to them, which is quite a lovely idea. And many families will throw Christmas parties that will last all night long on Christmas Eve, obviously, maybe making Christmas Day a little more difficult for some of those party attendees. Now, in India, there are a lot of Christians focused in Goa, actually, and Mumbai. So on Christmas Eve, Christians in Goa hang out giant paper lanterns in the shape of stars between the houses so that the stars float above you as you walk down the road, which is quite a magical image, isn't it? And midnight mass is quite popular. A lot of people attend this. So for midnight mass, Typically, the whole family will walk to the Mass together, and this will be followed by a massive feast of different delicacies, mostly different curries, and then also the giving and receiving of presents. Now, instead of having traditional Christmas trees in India, they use all different kinds of things. So you might see a banana or a mango tree that's been decorated, but apparently Indians aren't very fussy about this and they'll use anything as long as you can decorate it. Um, any kind of tree, really. Now, in the Dominican Republic, it's quite popular to have informal parties with friends, neighbors, different families. And these often start in one house and move around different local houses as more people join in, which is quite a nice idea. And the main dish in the Dominican Republic on Christmas is, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, curdo asado, which is roast pork. And then for dessert, there can be lots of kind of sweets, cookies, cakes. And one such example is called sweet potato pudding, which sounds very interesting. Now, an old tradition, which is quite a nice one, I think, was actually not to give each other material gifts in the Dominican Republic, but instead give and spend quality time with family, friends, and neighbors. Now, food and wine were actually the only things you were allowed to gift to other people if you went around their houses, which I think is kind of nice, as obviously our Christmases have become very kind of capitalist, haven't they, as time's gone on. And I also stumbled across then the celebrations of Christmas in Pakistan by some of the cultures within this country. So on Baradin or Christmas Day, Christians in Pakistan go to church, okay, for the Baradin celebrations. And when they go, people tend to wear their best colourful clothes. So I'm sure that looks amazing. And in the big Christian areas of Pakistan, each house tends to be decorated. And in particular, they tend to have a star that they position on their roof. So you can imagine from a bird's eye view, that must look amazing as well over certain towns with all these stars showing. Now, as well as other more traditional decorations, a crib is often used and a Christmas tree, which is very traditional as well. These are very important decorations, but the crib is so important that sometimes there are even crib competitions where houses are kind of weighed up on who's got the best crib. So yeah, I found my research very interesting. If you are interested in finding out more about different cultures and how they celebrate the same kind of holidays, then have a look on Why Christmas. And after this assembly is over, if you've got some time, it'd be really nice with those in your form if you could discuss whether you yourself celebrate Christmas. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. But if you do, maybe what are your customs and traditions? Maybe your family has certain traditions they bring from their own culture, and it would be nice to kind of compare those with other people in the room. Now, I need to make you aware, year 12 and year 13, of the last day arrangements. So on this Friday, the school day is going to look a little bit different, and it is going to mean that we're going to have an early finish as well. So period 1 and 2 is just going to work as normal. So come in at 8:30, go to period 1 and 2 as normal, whatever's on your timetable. However, at 10:30, when we would usually have our half-hour break, this is going to be extended for an hour because it's going to be more like our lunchtime. So we're going to have a split brunch slash reg. And so the order of which is going to work the same as it normally does. So our reg will be in the first half, as that's what we usually do at lunchtime. So you will go straight to your form rooms at 10:30. 10:30 to 11, you'll be with your tutors, and then the 11 till 11:30, this is when you'll have your brunch break then. Now, this will make period 3 a little bit different. So period 3, if you've got period 3 on your timetable, that will then run from 11:30 till 12:30. And then we'll have a very short registration from 12:30 till 12:45 before everybody is dismissed then. If you are catching a bus, then these will depart at 1 o'clock. Okay, so just taking those last day arrangements there, 1 and 2 is normal, extended kind of brunch slash reg, but you need to go to reg in the first half of that at 10:30. Period 3, still an hour, but a little bit different on the timing. And then a very short reg before you basically go in 1:15. Okay? Right, now you'll be excuse me, you'd be surprised to hear that Dr. Rowe has not crammed in any extra guest speakers this side of Christmas. So there's none in this last week now, but he has advanced booked lots for the new year. So I just want to give you a little bit of advance notice of some of the ones coming up in January, as it would be a good time to register for some of these now. So when we come back, we're going to be coming back on Tuesday, the 4th of January, because Monday's the bank holiday. And then on Wednesday, the 5th of January, our first one back at 5 p.m. is going to be a geography taster session run from the Uni of South Wales. So all geography students need to be attending this. And the particular topic that's going to be covered is managing the risks from multiple tectonic hazards for Stromboli, Italy. So it sounds really interesting for our geographers. On Thursday, the 6th of January, then the next day, again at 5 p.m., the University of Bath, sorry, it's not the University of Bath, speaking. We're going to have a former student, Josh Thomas, speaking to us. He's currently at Bath University, so he's going to be speaking about his experience of studying at Bath, but the subject he's studying is also maths, so he's going to be talking about that subject-specific course as well. So if you're interested in either putting down Bath as one of your options, or in studying the subject of maths, or maybe both, then definitely come along to this. Josh will be more than happy to answer your questions as well as give you his insight into everything he's experienced. Now, the week after, on Tuesday, the 11th of January, we've got another geography taster being run from the University of South Wales. So again, all our geographers need to come to this. But even if you don't take geography, if this sounds interesting, please, please, please come along. This webinar is going to be based on waiting for the big one, why the volcanoes of Southeast Iceland are of concern. So very interesting topic as well. And then the week after, on Tuesday, the 18th of January, we're going to have another former student join us, Amy Shefford, and she is currently studying medicine at the University of Exeter. So similar to what Josh is doing, she's going to be talking her experience of studying at Exeter, but then also of studying her specific course, medicine. So again, if you're interested in going to Exeter, or you're interested in medicine, or maybe the both of them together, then please come along to this. Amy's a really approachable former student, and she'll be more than happy to help you with any queries you have. So come along to this, and I'm sure it'll be a really interesting talk as well. And then on Wednesday, the 19th of January, we've also got another taster session from the University of South Wales, and this is going to be a history one. So obviously, if you are considering taking history in higher education, definitely come along to this, but all of our historians should be coming along to this because of the nature of it being a taster session. Whatever's covered might be quite relevant to what you're doing in your course at the moment. So yeah, those are the webinars up and coming in January, in the new year when you come back. So all that's left for me to say is Nadolig Llawyn, Merry Christmas. Hope you have a lovely break. Please, before you leave your form room as well on Friday, make sure you say a big thanks to your form tutors. And from the sixth form team, we would like to thank all of them as well. They're doing a fantastic job with you every day, checking in on your right, doing lots of really useful stuff with you on your well-being, careers, and so on. And I know that you find it really useful to check in with them every day as well. So make sure you give them a big thanks before you leave this week. And thank you to them for us from the sixth form team as well. Like I said, please use these 2 weeks now to rest and recharge and celebrate or don't celebrate Christmas in any way you want to. And we look forward to seeing you in the new year. Goodbye, year 12 and year 13. Have a fantastic last week.